Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Zonya Foco, registered dietitian, nutritionist, and I'm so excited that you think you need some holiday strategies because I know I need some holiday strategies. So I'm excited to get to just take an hour with you and let's just brainstorm, shall we? So welcome. I'm calling this my 6 simple, healthy holiday survival strategies. And just for a moment, I'd like you to just sit back for a moment. Hopefully you've got your little cup of hot herbal tea, caffeine or coffee, whatever, your nice little bevy of some sort. And I just want you to relax with me for a second. I want you to go with me for a second to January. Let's fast forward. It's January. It's January 3rd. How do you feel? Like, do you usually feel a little bloated and lethargic and you don't fit in your clothes and you're feeling kind of mad at yourself? And you're exhausted and you haven't exercised in forever, and you'll get on the scale and you're like, what did I do? Do you want to know what? As a nutritionist, I happen to know that just eating an extra 100 calories, okay, that's not very much, just an extra 100 calories 3 times a week between now and January, that would be like super easy to do, right? But just that packs on 1 pound. Wait, that explains a lot, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but when we go to holiday parties and we have the beverages and we have all the things, I mean, it's not just 100 calories, it's 2 and 3 and 4 and 500 extra calories. And it's not just 3 nights a week. It starts to be a lot with the cookies and everything. Oh my goodness. So if you're like me and you would like to come, I want you to think about January feeling really good, because this is not our first rodeo, ladies and gentlemen. We have done holidays before. We kind of know what happens. And here's what I'm suggesting. If we take this 1 hour to sit back and have a plan and say yes to doing things a little differently than we usually do them, the rewards can be very high. And you can see yourself in January going, oh, I feel smug instead of snug. And you feel good about, like, you actually feel a little fitter, not unfitter. And you actually feel good in your clothes. It can happen. No gain November, December. It can totally happen. And you still have a great time connecting with your family and friends, and you enjoy everything about the holidays. So that's the vision. But I'm asking you to say, okay, I'll try that. A few different ways of thinking. I want you to give yourself permission to do things a little differently, because it's going to take doing things a little bit differently. So let's go to our slides, and I want to share with you what my 6 holiday strategies are. Number 1, Christmas cookies. We got to have a strategy. Whether we're the ones making them and giving them and eating them, or whether we're the ones receiving them, we got to have a strategy about Christmas cookies. And boy, you're going to get a strategy today. All right. And number 2, holiday parties and potlucks. There's a lot of them, right? And they're fun and we're going to enjoy them. But can we have fun and enjoy them without overdoing it, without all the added extras? And high calorie drinks. You know what? A lot of people pack on 2-3 pounds over the holidays, not from a single thing they drink. I mean, a single thing they eat, only from what they drink. Because we can pack in a lot with the eggnog and the extra alcoholic drinks and everything. So we're going to have a couple strategies with that. And no time to cook. The holidays seem to be like that more than ever. We don't have time to cook anyway. Add in the holidays, we still don't have time to cook. And so I got some solutions and strategies for you there. And no time to exercise. Oh, we have got to have time to exercise, because that is part of the no gain plan. And so I'm going to give you some tips there. And then just stress. How can we have some stress management tips to help us handle the stress holidays? So all of that together, my friends, that's what I have planned for you. And here's the thing I want to say. Craziness is doing the same thing over and over, but expecting different results. The last thing I want you to do is to think, oh, I'll just do better. I'll do better. I'll be moderate this time. I'll be more moderate this time. And then you beat yourself up because you weren't more moderate this time. And January is no different than before. Craziness is thinking you're going to do it differently, but not really doing it differently. Craziness is doing the same thing over and over, but expecting different results. So I'm going to suggest some new ways of doing things, new ways of approaching it and thinking about it. And I think it's pretty easy. Are you ready? Let's get started. So I want you to know that I'm going to share a lot of recipes today because we need recipes. And all of them are posted free for you that I'm going to talk about today. So go to Zonya.com and that's what it looks like. And it's under the wellness tab. Bingo, holiday recipes and recipes. There's lots there to choose from. Okay, so everything's there. So just sit back, relax. You have access to these recipes really simply. They will be there. Alrighty, holiday hurdle number 1. Let's tackle those cookies. Oh my goodness, cookies. So no cookies? I don't know, maybe. No, wait. How about some cookies? Can we be moderate with cookies? Do they have to be healthy cookies? Can some be healthy cookies? What's the solution? And so let's really think about this. You love the tradition of baking and sharing Christmas cookies, but I eat too many of them. Well, craziness is doing the same thing over and over. We got to change something up to try to help that out a little bit. So let me ask you this. How many cookies do you bake? Some people, not me, but I've heard that some people will bake 12 different kinds of cookies for the holidays. And they have that big and they have all kinds of different kinds. Is that you? Oh, I can imagine how hard it would be to eat those in moderation if I had all those in my home or if I was given those many cookies. So I'm asking you to think a little bit differently. I don't know. What do you think? If you make those and freeze them, is there ways to manage them in your house, store them in a different place so they're not right on the counter? So you walk by them 500 times a day and can't help but be tempted at least 3 or 4 of those times. What could be some different strategies for you? Well, I'm going to suggest less. If you want to eat less, I think you should make less. I know, what a concept. So if you make 12 dozen, what about 6? What about picking? Have it, you can have it. What if you've picked just 6 this time? And you'll give you extra time to exercise. What if you said, you know what, I think I'm just going to make my 3 key favorites, just three. And I'm not going to make double and triple batches. I'm going to make smaller amounts. All of us need to eat less. We're going to eat less. We're not going to have so many. We're not going to have enough cookies to fill up all the 8 weeks between now and Christmas. We're just going to have enough cookies to fill in, or however many weeks it is, but just because a lot of times people have cookies for like 4 weeks straight in their house. Could we have less than that and still enjoy the holidays? I would like to suggest that you pick 1 or 2 recipes, okay, maybe 3, that you love and enjoy and do it in moderation and not triple, quadruple, but less, smaller amount, downsizing the gifts that you give to other people. They don't have to be quite so robust. They can be smaller. Maybe those are some ideas to help you. And that when you do, I don't want you to feel guilty when you enjoy a cookie, but realize that's it, we're done. And if you balance it with a fruit or vegetable, it's amazing how it starts to, our little source of protein, is amazing how it stops that, oh my gosh, it's sugar, ding, 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 and I want more. White flour, sugar, butter, white sugar, butter, white flour. Oh my gosh, it really, don't think it's just you. No, it's like crack cocaine, and studies show that sugar is as addictive as cocaine. I know it's crazy, but it's true. It's really true. So back to that, try some healthier recipes or ingredients. And I'm going to share a couple of my favorite healthier recipes today with you and see what you think. All right. So I'm going to share those with you. And trying some healthier ingredients, that's interesting. Ground flaxseed. I put ground flaxseed in everything. It's such a great antioxidant. It's got great fiber. It's so incredible in its ability to bring down inflammation in our body. And we need that. So make sure you're putting some ground flaxseed in your morning oats to help counteract the inflammation from a little added sugar later in the day during the holidays. That's really important. And give yourself permission to do things differently. You know, maybe you have a no cookie zone several weeks and you only have cookies for, you know, maybe just a week during the holidays instead of over a 4-week period of time. I was talking with my friend Shelly and she said, I know, I just need somebody to give me like a swift kick in the old butt to just tell me that I don't have to eat all the cookies that are in my house and I don't have to have all these cookies. I can enjoy a cookie or 2 and then give the rest away or throw the rest away. Or I don't have to have so many. So tip number 1, if you need a swift kick, I'm giving you one. And then you give a swift kick to the next person and they'll give a swift kick to the next person. Okay. we can do things differently. We can store the cookies somewhere else. We can not have so many in our house. We can have a no cookie zone. I know for me, most of the holidays are spent with no cookies in my house. There might be cookies in my house a few windows and periods of time. But I will tell you, when I do, let me share with you the 2 cookies I make. This one right here, the double chocolate chews. Why? Because they have whole wheat pastry flour in them, or white whole wheat flour. I'll show you that in just a second. Those are great ingredients. It uses a little bit of butter, a little bit of oil, but less of it. There is sugar. You can use a sugar replacer if you would like, but less sugar. And the thing is, these cookies satisfy you, but they are not so addictive that you're like, I got to eat another one, another one, another one, another one. It has those things going for you. Let me show you. Hang on. Let me show you with this. I've got these 2. I love to use whole wheat pastry flour. And if you happen to own my cookbook, Lickety Split Meals, or the Eat Real cookbook, right? Some of you may know me from the Lickety Split Meals cookbook right here, or the Eat Real cookbook. This one I co-authored with Krista Sanderson. Oh, can't see it. Krista Sanderson right here, or the Lickety Split Meals cookbook. Maybe that's how we know each other and why you're here today. Maybe you're here because you saw me on my YouTube channel. Yay, I'm trying to do better with having more videos going out every week. And maybe you know me from a course that we've done together, Your Worksite Wellness. However we know each other, or maybe from my PBS show. Heck, who knows? But I'm glad you're here. And I want you to know that the recipes I'm sharing with you are posted at zonya.com, but they're also from here. And I want you to know that every one of these recipes, I will use whole wheat pastry flour or white whole wheat flour, and you never know that it does. And it helps slow down the addictive property of that cookie. Like you eat 1 or 2 or 3 and go, wow, those were really good. But you don't want to eat more and more and more and more. They're just, and the sugar is half the amount instead of double the amount, half the amount. So it's way better. And there might be ground flaxseed in it, all kinds of good things, but it really helps slow the addictive nature, but provides good for you nutrition. I believe a cookie should have good for you nutrition in it too. And not that all holiday cookies and cutout cookies, Christmas cookies would, but these 2 that I'm sharing with you do. So let's go back to that. The recipe is easy. You can follow it. You'll enjoy them. I know with our family, we like to turn them into ice cream cookies. Even in the wintertime, ice cream is always a hit, but I just wanted to share that with you. The other thing is harvest pumpkin bars. It wouldn't be the holidays if I didn't make the harvest pumpkin bars. Now, these are posted for you for free at the site, but they're also featured in the Eat Real cookbook. Harvest pumpkin bars are amazing, and they use pumpkin to give them their moistness. And they are so filled with powerful nutrition that you can eat them for breakfast. All right. So it's good for you stuff. This is in our family. This is how we like to get love and excitement. And this is one of our holiday traditions. So I hope it becomes a holiday tradition for you as well. All righty. Next up, spiced mixed nuts. This is a gift solution. If you love to give a nice little tin of cookies, what if you gave a nice little tin of spiced mixed nuts that you made and gave them the recipe for? Wouldn't that be cool? I'm going to tell you, these make a great gift. So let me show you how I make these. This is in the Eat Real cookbook, and it's also posted for you. But the way we put these together is I use that blend from Aldi of nuts that has almonds and pistachios and pecans, and then I add in the walnuts, and that's what I've used for my mixed nuts that it calls for. It's like 3.5 cups, and then it's just 1 tablespoon, and I wanted to get all the maple syrup out from inside my spoon, so I just kind of stirred it all up. It's not a lot. These aren't super sweet at all, but they have just that tablespoon of maple syrup, and you want to use real maple syrup. And curry. You're like, are you kidding me? Yep, a half teaspoon of curry and just a little tad of, yep, you got it, cayenne pepper. And rosemary leaves? Are you kidding me? I'm telling you, Krista Sanderson is the one that turned me on to this. And then a tiny bit of salt. You do want to have a tiny bit of salt for this. Trust me, that's not too much for anyone, even people with high blood pressure. That will not be too much salt at all. And then you just turn this out onto a cookie sheet. I always use parchment paper. It just makes cleanup and everything really good, but you don't have to at all. This will not stick. Remember, there's no added oil to this, and it's just that tiny bit of maple syrup. It's not, these aren't heavily laden. And then we're going to roast these off at 325 degrees. And we set that for 15 minutes. And I did toss it halfway, a little bit halfway. And then when it came out, it was just perfectly toasty. The house smells terrific right now. I mean, let me just tell you. But those, ladies and gentlemen, are the roasted mixed nuts. You can turn these into the best holiday presents ever. You could kick cookies to the curb and you could replace it with spice mixed nuts. Take a look at this. What if you're the new healthified you showed up and you gave away, and check this out. You can buy whole bunches of little mason jars and give them away like this in mason jars. Or if you're like me and you like to save money, you've been saving your jars. Like this is my olives, my Kalamata olives jar. And I take the soak off the label and I use this. And that way I don't have to pay for any jars. I know, call me cheap or call me smart. I don't know what you want to call it. This is a leftover spice jar that I was going to throw away. And I was, no, I'm not going to throw that away. It'll make a nice little gifty at Christmas time. You can use these smaller ones. So it's really portion controlled. You don't have to make as many. This is how much one batch made. It filled those 4 jars right there. Those 4 jars is what it filled. And so I'd have to make more and more to make as many gifts as I wanted to make. I wanted to also mention that in the cookbook, the Eat Real cookbook is homemade granola. You could give homemade granola as well as a great little gifty too. Just saying. And then these little bags make for a great way. I put them in little snack size Ziploc bags and put them in here and give them these little reindeer feed little bags. Or you can use these little plastic snack bags. You can put the nuts or the granola in these as well. So there, my friends, what if your cookie exchange became nuts? And I will tell you, somebody that has attended my live stream series courses before, she said, Zonya, my kids and I, we said, we're not taking cookies. We're doing these roasted spice nuts. And they did them in little bags and they took them to the cookie exchange. She said they were such a hit. So an idea for doing things differently, because doing everything the same way, the same thing over and over, you'll get the same results. We want different results. So try something new and so nourishing, high in fiber, high in satiation. These are really great. All right. There we have it, my friends. One idea for you. I hope that you'll give it a try because it's such a splendid idea. All righty. Next up. I've even had people tell me to put more curry in it next time. So that's what I'm like, more curry? Okay, more curry. So remember, you can adjust those spices as you wish. So there you go. That was our cookies. I hope you feel like we got some ideas for the cookies. Number 2, the holiday parties and potlucks. Oh, these are tough. I overeat at holiday potlucks and work and at Christmas parties with friends. I just overeat. I can't help it. So what can we do? What can we do to try to not have that problem? One thing I want to say is that plate needs to have more real food on it. And needs to have, I mean, think about the veggies, balancing. It's always a balance. It's a balancing act on your plate. Bring a fruit or veggie dish. When I married my husband, and it was probably before we got married, our first holiday gathering with this family, I arrived and, I asked what I could bring. And I think I brought a dessert or something. But I arrived and I quickly realized what I really needed to bring, because I didn't mean to bring a dessert. There were 9 people, and there were on the counter 9 pies. Some of you are like, yeah, that's my family too. 9 pies, 9 people. I was like, really? Like, I didn't need to bring a dessert by any means. And there was, of course, turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing and all those things. And green bean casserole was the only vegetable in sight. And I was, was there a salad? No, we don't do salad for Thanksgiving. Really? And no other vegetable? Really? So I have learned that what I bring is a veggie tray that we can snack on all pre and post and through the meal. And I bring out a nice, beautiful, colorful tossed salad with lots of great greens and some pomegranates and really great things like that, and cranberries in it, something like that, a salad. And, but I bring the veggies, because otherwise there's probably not going to be a lot. And I bring a veggie loaded side so that there's more than just the green bean casserole to kind of balance it out and give us choice. Half it and you can have it. Remember this with anything and everything from dessert to sides. And I always think bread or dessert. bread or dessert, bread or dessert. I'm going to have dessert today. There's some good looking desserts today. So I'm not going to have bread. That will leave you room for that. That's such a great tip. I want you to remember that. And like, okay, I'm going to have a little bit of mashed potatoes and a little bit of stuffing because I want a little half of each because I want them both. This much starch in a meal, this much starch in a meal is a great little tip. Great little tip. If you can manage to do that, you absolutely can, and balance out the plate with added veggies. You can do that. Use a plate like when you're doing it's so easy to grab chips, grab nuts. Nope. Use a plate, and a small one at that. That'll help you trim off 100, 200, 300 calories easily. But remember to strike that 50-50 balance with veggies. You're going back for some more of the stuffing, or you're going for some more veggies too to balance it. Oh, okay. Don't just go back for the stuffing. You got the idea. Balance it out. I love this tip. Eat like a toddler. What does that mean? You know how toddlers, they don't want their food to touch. No food touch, no touchy food. Well, there got to be pretty small mounds, and to not let them touch, it's amazing. Small amounts helps a lot. And I want to remind you that if you're like me, I'll tell the hostess, oh, we're having pie. Yeah, I'll take a half a slice, please. Well, you know what a half a slice to them is? It's still robustly huge. So I have to go and go, oh, thanks. And I cut it in half again, and I put half back in the pie plate so somebody else can enjoy it. But I definitely take control because I really, they say with a dessert, you taste the first bite, the second bite, and the last bite. All the other bites are just stuffs going in. So just have 3 bites. The first, the second, and the last. Just a 3-bite dessert is really enough. You'll hear me say, enough is as good as a feast. It really is. So I want you to try that. Okay. So eat like a toddler and pick a time to stop eating. I'm telling you, you got to pick a time to stop eating because otherwise we just keep eating and eating, right? The party goes on till 11 at night and we're still eating at 9 and 10. We're grazing off the buffet table. No, arrive at 7, have a small plate, enjoy it, have a little bit more. And then at 7:30, 7:45, be done with that. Cozy up with a hot tea or with a sparkling juice, and cozy up with your thing that you're going to drink for the rest of the evening and call it good. Pick a time to stop eating. I think it'll really help you. All righty. Recipe solution. What about those creamy, fatty, carby side dishes? Well, let's talk about this. Seasoned roasted potatoes and Brussels sprouts. This is found in the Eat Real Cookbook, page 141. And I love these. And I love to bring these. And so even though there might be creamy, whatever, the green bean casserole, there's this one too. So let me show you how I make this. Roasting vegetables is huge. And you think, Brussels sprouts, yes, let's bring on a wonderful fall vegetable. And if you've not had them roasted, you haven't lived. Now, this sweet potato was a gift from Sue, my friend Sue. Her father grew these in his garden. And so I'm so excited about how fresh and great it is. Now, what I did is I try for the most part to not peel my sweet potatoes at all. Krista Sanderson taught me that. But I just took off the kind of dirty looking parts. And I'm leaving the rest of the skin on because there's a ton of nutrition located just at the skin and beneath the skin. And you don't want to lose that. You don't want to waste good food. I'm really learning that with my carrots too. Just scrub your carrots, don't peel them. There's so much good nutrition there. So I want to encourage you, just scrub your potatoes. Alrighty, the next thing, we've got our sweet potatoes in there. We're going to give this a toss. And that's beautiful right there, isn't it? Now, how are we going to season this? Krista taught me to really heavily season these. First of all, get the olive oil on there. We're going to use 2 tablespoons. And remember, olive oil is going to help us absorb the beta carotene. It's going to really help release that nutrition. It's a balance. It's not 0 fat, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little bit of the rightly proportioned. And this is 2 teaspoons of onion powder. That's quite a bit onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, not salt, a teaspoon of oregano. And I always rub it to help release the flavors, and same with the thyme, a teaspoon of thyme, and rub that to get the flavors off. And then I think it's a quarter or half a teaspoon each of salt and pepper, and that's not too much salt. Even for somebody with high blood pressure, it's not. And you are going to toss that, and ooh, there's a lot of seasoning on all of those little places. Yes. This will fit on 1 large sheet. If you've got a large sheet, we're going to spread those out. and a single layer. Make sure nothing's double. You don't want it to be double. Then it'll more of a steam instead of a roast. And I'm using, make sure if you have convection roast on your oven, choose convection roast. It's kind of like an air fryer. A lot of people don't use their convection roast, but use that. And I toss this halfway in. It's actually you do 15 minutes and a little bit longer. And there you are, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. That is some roasted awesomeness. Look, they're tender. The potatoes are nice and tender. And I will then put this. This is another reason why I like parchment paper, is that you can very easily transfer this to your serving dish. And I don't know about you, but that's looking pretty fantabulous. And I'll put a lid on that to transport that. I can microwave it when I get to my guest's house, or my guest's house, I guess, to my friends if I'm traveling or not. You can travel, you can warm it up, put it in the oven there. But it's a great dish. Even at room temperature is delicious. So there's the healthy carbs. Sweet potatoes are an amazing upgrade from just mashed potatoes. Not that I'm against mashed potatoes, because trust me, I'm going to have some mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving. Trust me, I am. But sweet potatoes are really a great, really awesomeness. All right. Sound good? It's not Thanksgiving without my cranberry salad. Okay. This cranberry salad uses gelatin, Knox gelatin, unflavored gelatin, and it uses a red juice, kind of like this, this right here, the Simply black cherry juice, 100% juice to sweeten it, because fresh cranberries are amazing, but they need to be sweetened a little bit. So we're using some juice, and I think you'll love it. It's got pineapple in it and apple. You can use a nice Granny Smith apple to give you that green and the red contrast. And it's not the holidays unless I serve this. I make it every year, and I wanted to make sure you had the recipe too. So that's posted at the website too. Alrighty, what's my next one? That charcuterie boards are all the rage. And I just learned how to do a charcuterie board, and I'm so excited about it. In fact, I shot a video of how to make it properly balanced between meats and cheese, how to have the meats not be processed meats. Usually they traditionally are processed meats, but if you know me, if you follow me in any of my courses, we've learned that you draw the line at processed meats. Processed meats increase our risk of colon cancer. And we really, I mean, I'm sure twice a year is not a big deal, but it's so easy to use fresh meats. And so we teach you how to do that. So I've got a YouTube video coming out next week. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, then you'll be sure to get it. But if you're on our e-news, which you all are, we'll make sure you get to see that video. It's a nice one coming up. Okay, so as you look at the veggies, there's fruits, there's a balance, and really crusty whole grains. And there is meat and cheese, but much less than the balance. It's about the balance. So that's a sneak peek into the video that I'll be sharing, but there's much more about that. What's holiday hurdle number 3? Holiday hurdle number 3 is high calorie drinks, wine, beer, sweet beverages. They're just crazy temptations. And do you just have one? 2, 3. It's hard to keep it in control, isn't it? So it's extras. We got to try to trim the extras. So what are we going to do? You maybe turn a wine into a spritzer, perhaps. It's a great way to have this much wine and then no calorie, anything else. It makes it kind of effervescency and fun, so you have extra. And when you have that, you can get by with one for the night. You really can. And that trims a lot of calories. That will help you in this game a lot. So there's an idea. Just have one drink. You like to have a beer? Just have one. And then stick to sparkling water, a bottle of water, that for the rest of the night. It's really okay. Some of you are like, no, I can't do it. I think you can try and see how you do. I think you'll be surprised. And replace eggnog or hot beverages with a healthier option. And I'd like to share a healthier option with you right now. Remember, I told you I'd share with you what's in my healthy hot toddy right here. I love, you know how they talk about Arnold Palmer's, where you take lemonade and you mix lemonade with tea, iced tea, and it could be unsweet iced tea and lemonade, and it's only half as sweet, 50-50, right? Instead of so sweet as straight lemonade. Well, this healthy cinnamon hot toddy, the recipe is 2 cinnamon apple tea bags. And I'm using Celestial Seasonings. Celestial Seasonings. It's 2 cinnamon apple tea bags, 2 cups of water, and 2 cups of apple cider. You combine that up and heat it up. Combine and heat on the stove. The house will smell terrific. Really great cinnamon. You can add a cinnamon stick if you want, but they're quite expensive. And I had cinnamon sticks in my cupboard for too many years. I threw them away. And they're expensive to replace, so I just didn't. But you'll get the cinnamon flavor from here. I'm a big fan of Celestial Seasonings. They make so many. This way you're offering a caffeine-free tea. It's lightly sweet. It will not be sticky sweet like mulled cider. Mulled cider is so sticky sweet to me. It's too sweet. You'll do this 50-50, and I will tell you that I often use more water, more tea, and less cider for myself. But we've done the survey, and most people like it 50-50. This tea gives it great flavors added to your hot apple cider, and it's a great thing to offer at your parties. And it's half the calories as cider. Oh, we're at holiday hurdle number 4. Number 4, no time to cook. I mean, we don't have time to cook anyway. So now let's just add in the holidays, and we really don't have time to cook. You're so busy with holiday preparations. I don't have time to cook healthy meals. So I've got some strategies, some ideas for you. 1, make a pot of chili or soup and enjoy for days. Works great. I did this on Sunday. I made that soup right there, the very veggie minestrone. That one happens to be in the Eat Real cookbook. I'm sorry, it's not on the website, but it is in the Eat Real cookbook, and it's so fabulous. And it makes a lot, but I make a double batch of it so that I have an even more lot. And it's just great to have and enjoy for days. And then rock the 24/7 veggie tray. I'm going to tell you, you want to rock the 24/7 veggie tray. You're like, what's the 24/7 veggie tray? If you know me, you will know that I have always said, you have got to have a 24/7 veggie tray. It lives in your refrigerator. This is mine. Yours might look different. It's what keeps me. I would weigh 20 pounds more than I do right now if I didn't have this. And during the holidays, it's even more important than ever. The 24/7 veggie tray, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what happens to be in mine today. It's different all the time based on what I have. I happen to have some cauliflower, cucumbers, and sticks. Now these I have to eat right away because they'll get slimy the soonest. These carrots will last quite a while. Any of these, and I might turn these into roasting, and I love these. These are sugar snap peas. This helps. Remember, the solution to pollution is dilution. So if you're having pizza, have some veggies with it. Then you'll just have 1 or 2 slices of pizza because you got a lot of veggies. I always have hummus to go with the dip. It's a great thing. And this helps curb a lot. So whatever you do this holiday season, take a pledge to keep your 24/7. I get groceries on the weekend, restocking this on the weekend for the week. We might offshoot these to roast these, like I showed you, we roasted the other vegetables. Anything, I might turn them into a salad. So they're not just for snacking. They're for snacking, salad making, and roasting. Does that make sense? Okay, good. 24/7 veggie tray, rock it. It will help you curb those holiday calories, guaranteed. We have just nixed a whole bunch of hundreds with that veggie tray. Rock the 24/7 veggie tray, make low effort, slow cooker recipes. And wow, can this save you your buttski? And I know a lot of you use an Instapot. That's great. But what I love about the slow cooker, you just load it. It's got to be easy to load. Things you just, and off you go. And let me just share with you, one of my favorites from the Lickety Split Meals cookbook, that's also posted at the website, is the Crock-pot fajitas. And let me just roll a little video here for you about how easily these come together. And love, of course, the cookbook always stands up right in the kitchen countertop. Here I'm going with some chicken. You can put the chicken breast in there whole, or I happen to take the time to put them into little slivers. You can just put them in there whole and you shred them with a fork when you get done. But I did it this way this time. And then you go ahead and add your onions, and got to have a little bit of salt on that. A little bit of salt, no worries. I'm going to show you how it's really low in sodium. You could use fresh jalapenos, but when I'm stressed and I didn't have special ingredients, you can just use the jarred. Now, not everybody puts beans in their fajitas, but what I've done, I only have a pound of meat, but I have the can of beans, and I'm making this kind of not meat centric, but it's got beans in there, and that's awesome. Using a fresh lime, half a lime in there really gives it the flavor you need. This is Zippy Zonya Mexi Mix. It's on page 40 of Lickety Split. It's also posted for you at the site. And you make it ahead and it replaces a taco seasoning packet. It has no added salt, no MSG, none of the crap awesome stuff. And then awful stuff, I should say. And then you mix it with your peppers, all your tricolor, mix that together. And it doesn't take long to cook. 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours on high, and it's ready to go. And whoever comes home first, maybe people are coming home at 5, at 6, at 7, whoever can make their own fajita as they desire. And they can add in their add-ins as they wish. So you've got that. Now, I like to add some fresh tomatoes. You wouldn't have to, but I like some fresh tomatoes in there. What else for my fajitas? You don't have to add salsa, but I was thinking some salsa looked good. And this brand I love to buy at Aldi. It's an organic brand and it's low in sodium, which is nice. Now you can use some light sour cream, but I'm so over that. I use non-fat Greek yogurt now pretty much exclusively for all my sour cream needs. It's loaded with protein, loaded with calcium, and it absolutely, you can't tell the difference. It's really fantastic. So, wow, I've got a pretty young, and not everybody puts lettuce in their fajitas, but I'm thinking, why not? Let's add a little less to my fajita here. And that's a nice full fajita. But what am I going to have with this? Oh, look, I have my 24/7 veggie tray and I have some grapes all ready to go. So this is going to help me stick with just my one fajita instead of wanting to eat two. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a delicious, well-balanced meal right there. But if you wanted to have some cookies, some Christmas cookies, let's trade out that fajita wrap, shall we? And let's just go with a salad instead. Because we're doing checks and balances, baby, and we're making room for a Christmas cookie or here or there. What do you think? Yep, I load her up. That's my salad. So then I'll go ahead and add my tomatoes. And what's my dressing going to be? It's going to be part salsa and part Greek plain non-fat yogurt. That is what I'm going to dress my fajita salad with, ladies and gentlemen, that has chicken and black beans and peppers and yum. And I'm going to add some grapes to that too. And that makes a little extra room for when you need those extra little calories throughout the holidays. How's that sound? There are so many more ideas for Crock-pot in the Lickety Split Meals Cookbook. I have 13 easy to load recipes in there. They're so mindless. They're just so easy. And we have even more in the Eat Real Cookbook as well. And what Krista and I put together in the 28-day Kickstart, Krista, my co-author right here, what we did is we put things together in a whole 28 days, gave you a grocery list each week. And wow, does it make it easy to do. I think you'd enjoy it. And we also make the Crock-pot on Monday. And then we have a do-over, twofer, that it's a planned over that you get to make something later in the week, totally different. And we have that posted on the website for you. There is one of my favorites is the slow cooker, sweet and savory beef and veggies. And you will love it. It has parsnips in it. Really awesome with the carrots and the potatoes. So try that out. And then the repeat with the leftovers. You don't just warm up the leftovers and eat them as leftovers. They're planned overs. You cube it up and you turn it into a crustless beef pot pie. It's really good. So you can try that out as well. What's hurdle number 5? No time to exercise. No time to exercise. Let's face it. With all the added stress, how can I make the time for exercise? Well, we need to make exercise priority number 1, not number 2, 3, 4, 100, 1002. It needs to be priority number 1. And I want to share with you that mornings rule. Absolutely mornings rule. And people who exercise first thing in the morning get it done and they're consistent all year long because rarely is anything planned first thing in the morning. So mornings are a fantastic time to get her done. If you've got Fido won't let you miss. He doesn't care if it's the holidays or not. Walk your dog. Let your neighbors set a clock to you that they know you walk your dog. And then if you really don't have time, remember 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. You can do 10 minutes in the morning. I know you can. You can do 10 minutes at lunch over your lunch break at work. You can do that. And then when you get home right after dinner, just do 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. You don't even have to change your clothes for 10 minutes. You're not even going to get sweaty in 10 minutes. I'll tell you 10 plus 10 plus 10. Because if you don't have an exercise plan going into the holidays, I'm going to tell you, things aren't going to go well for you this holiday season. But you will be able to do a no gain November, no gain December, if you can prioritize exercise. Are you with me? 10 plus 10 plus 10. Make the mornings domestic exercise. I know you're going to be cleaning your house more. I know I am. And so crank up the Christmas music. Put a little extra hop in your step. Vacuum away. It's exercise. You can count it. Mopping, cleaning. It counts as exercise. So make it active and work. Sign up for a 5K event. I'm doing 3 races. I'm doing one this Saturday. And we're not running, ladies and gentlemen. We're walking. But we're going to be walking it, huffing it for this stuff. And so there you go. I want to encourage you, fun ways to change it up. All right. I hope that helped. Did that give you a little bit of exercise help? I hope that gave you a little bit of exercise help. So now, let's talk about the next one. My 6th and final hurdle I wanted to share with you, and that's holiday stress and exhaustion. All the shopping decisions of what to get, food to make, all the get-togethers, it's just stress, right? So what can we do to make that better? What can we do to make it a lot better? Let me just suggest some solutions for you. Now, a lot of you already do this. And I want you to reflect back to before you didn't and how stressful that was. And I just want to say, can you just take a moment to go, yay, you? Whoever suggested that in your family, it was a lifesaver. You save money and you save stress. Do you not? Now, if any of you are going, draw names. Yeah, as a family, you draw names. And Thanksgiving is next week. And you can be the one that says, hey, everybody, how about we draw names for Christmas gifts? And you only have to buy one gift. And you only receive one gift. And it's a money saver. It's a stress saver. It's a great idea. So if you don't already do it, I want to suggest that this Thanksgiving is a great time to get it in action. Boy, it's saved our family. It totally has saved our family. All right, give to a charity or neighbor in need. You could also suggest, hey, you guys, instead of giving gifts this year, how about we all just give to a charity or a neighbor in need? And somebody might say, my so-and-so friend, neighbor is really struggling. They've got cancer, they're, whatever. They're really going through some tough times. And you're like, hey, you guys want to just pitch together and get them a gas card, want to get them some, a grocery card, something like that, and be like, yeah, let's do that. Okay, that's going to be our exchange. Yeah, that's going to be our exchange. And that's what we're going to do. That could be, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling the stress just leaving my shoulders and I'm feeling good about it. And we're doing good in the world. Remember, Christmas doesn't have to be done the way it's always done. It's about getting together and giving, but not necessarily to each other. It could be giving to a family in need. Just an idea. I'd love to share it. I know that we do this as a family and this really feels good. It feels good to do. Simplify with gift certificates. I'm notorious for that. I like to give gift certificates, and you can just buy 8 all the same and give away 8 all the same. Phew, did my Christmas shopping, done. It's an easy way to go. Or buy everyone the same thing, your favorite thing. What's your favorite thing? What could you give that's your favorite thing to everybody? And I love to give the gift of health, of course. Everything I'm going to give is probably going to be healthy to help them with their fitness or with their eating or something like that. And okay, I'm going to say it because I can't help it. You know what the perfect gift is. If you don't know, I can help you out with your stress here right now. I just want to remind you that every year at this time of year, we do our highest discount ever, and that's 15% off. And it applies to our already discounted tier pricing too, because if you buy 3 or more, or 5 or more, or 10 or more, it's discounted, and that 15% applies. So it's super great time to give everybody on your gift list either an Eat Real cookbook or Lickety Split meals or both. Your choice, but I think that's a great idea. So right there, I wanted to make sure you had that. And so keep that in mind as a great little gift solution. And you can pair it. You can give them the Eat Real cookbook and pair it with a nice little jar of spiced mixed nuts from inside the book and tell them the recipe is inside. That would be a really fun thing to do. So there's an idea for you. Putting it all together. I gave you 6 really great ideas. So what's putting it all together? For our final strategy is to change the focus for stress survival. It's a stressful time, but if we can change our focus, spending time with loved ones and doing the things you love, that's what the focus is, right? And I say the mistletoe because my mom always, part of the Christmas decorations was, the mistletoe, and going up and getting on a ladder and putting it on when you walk in the door, there's the lamp, the light, right? The chandelier, hanging mistletoe from there. My mom, how cute. And so let's keep that going, right? The mistletoe is kind of fun. And then the winter walks, sleigh rides, 5K events, just whatever it takes to make it different and fun. Caroling. Some of you go, I would never do that. Oh, just do it. It's really fun. It is really fun. Surprise caroling and people's just outdoors. It's so fun to knock on their door and just be singing. And they're like, oh my gosh, somebody's outside singing. And it's just fun. Say yes to something new. Make new memories. It's not just about the cookies and the food. And looking at the lights, going for a drive. I know that this night lights thing we're going to do Saturday night, we would usually drive through it, and I hate driving through it. And what's so fun is they're doing a run, and so we get to go through it and see the lights by walking, not running. And I'm like so geeked about changing it up this year. So geeked about it. Yeah. Listening to music all the time, really enjoying those Christmas tunes that really can change your state. So I hope you've gotten some ideas today. If I had to wrap it all up into one thing about nixing those extras, so in January, we don't have to feel, we can feel, it's just to remember that enough is as good as a feast. 3 bites of pie. It doesn't have to be the whole big slice, the whole big cake, the whole whatever. Just a couple bites here and there. Enough is as good as a feast. You can do your plate like a toddler. Foods don't have to touch. It'll make you put less on your plate, smaller spoonfuls. That will help mix the extra. Remember to exercise just a little bit. I'll never forget going to my spin class in the morning, and I'm putting on my spin shoes next to this other lady putting on her spin shoes. We wear special shoes for spinning. And I said, so are you training for a triathlon? Because most people in my spin class are. And she goes, oh no. She goes, I just do this so I can eat. She goes, it's my checks and balances, baby. And she was a healthy, normal weight person. And that's how she does her checks and balances. So exercise, we should enjoy it. And she does enjoy spin class. I do too. And I hope you find the thing that you enjoy too. I also want to ask you, what are your health goals for the next year? What are they? What are your health goals for the next year? I'd love to have you join me in January, because check this out. I am hosting a fantastic kick to January, and that's how greens fight the blues. We're going to kick the blues, baby, to the curb, because we all come out of the holidays with some blues. Some of us downright have depression. And do you know what? Studies show there's a lot of things you can do nutritionally with what you eat to help you feel better. And we're going to be looking at that, at the foods that help affect our mood. They're also the same things that help fight attention deficit disorder and fight dementia, that help us feel better and fight depression. So we're going to be looking at that. But you want to know what? This is really healthy, nutritious food too, that helps us trim excess weight and helps us embark on a healthy you in 22. Healthy you in 22. I like the rings of that. So if you want to join us, it's going to be a big party. It's going to be on Thursday nights, a live stream like this one. If you enjoyed this one, it'll be similar, but they'll be learning how to make collard green wraps with roasted sweet potatoes. Oh, wait till you try that one. We'll be doing a lot of really neat salads, green smoothies, all the different ways to enjoy greens and other foods that really help us nutritionally and to be healthy. Well, I promised you that we would be about an hour. And I wanted to share with you that if you have questions for me, I'm available to take questions. I didn't know if I'd be, because I didn't tell you, because I didn't know if I'd be on time or not. But if you have any questions you want to share, or any comments, or just anything about the holidays that you do well, could you type it in the chat or in the Q&A? I hope you enjoyed your time with me. I hope that you can say yes to just 1, 2, or even 3 ideas today, or maybe all 6. But any of the ideas that I shared with you to decrease stress, to increase exercise, to nix the extras, that you've got the ideas to do that. And in the meantime, I hope you I'm going to give you the rest of the hour to go to zonya.com and look at those recipes. All right, so you can check out what we talked about today. So I'll give you time to do that right now. But I have enjoyed my time with you so much. Thanks for saying yes to this. Thanks for joining me today. And if you have any friends that think they need to see this, well, it's happening again tonight. They can still register. From our house to your house, I'm wishing you happy, healthy holidays and a new you, healthy you in 22. Thanks so much for joining me today, everybody. Thanks. Bye-bye.